I know Clipse is getting some well-deserved love for their very dope project that they had dropped on Friday, but let's not forget that the hardest working man in hip hop in 2025 also dropped an album with Nicholas Craven that you should not sleep on. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. If you are rocking with this content, go ahead and smash that like button up. Also subscribe if you haven't, but today I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new one from Boldy and Nicholas Craven entitled Late to My Own Funeral. So Boldy James, Mr. 1008, has been on this monumental run for the last 2 years, but in 2025 alone, and let me stress alone, he has released 8 projects. Now, even if you didn't care for some of his more trap-centered drops, he still gave you albums like Token of Appreciation, Alphabet Highway, and Conversational Pieces. And I feel that each of those 3 could be in any Big Boldy fan's top 15 albums of the year. But now he and Nicholas Craven have reunited for their anticipated third project together, Late to My Own Funeral, and this follows Penalty of Leadership. Now, it wasn't quite as anticipated as the Clipse album was, because nothing is really that anticipated, or it hasn't been for some time. But for an underground release, it was. And Nicholas Craven did his best on Twitter to have a respectable rollout for this album, even triggering some people on Twitter. And the reality is, no matter how good an artist may be, an album that had dropped the same day as Clipse on July 11th was going to be overshadowed. But getting right into Late to My Own Funeral, it contains 10 songs lasting approximately 31 minutes. With that being said, let me go ahead and just jump right into that track-by-track breakdown. The opener, Spiderweb and Windshields, is set to this relaxing, sped-up gospel instrumental that Boldy glides on effortlessly, kicking his intricate street talk. He has the noteworthy lines. They throw in jabs, but don't have a clue, like the old Fab. Obviously, a mixtape reference for Fab on those Clue tapes. And yeah, he's also talking about his youngins, Spiderweb and Windshield. Boldy also had a line that I may have to correct unless I missed the context here. Boldy said, unless you want some 96 Nostradamus shit, then nah, we ain't trying to hear that knowledge that you're trying to kick. So, I know the number 96, he likely used that to fit the scheme better, but the reality is, Nostradamus came out in 99, and in 96, Nas was known for his Esco mafioso phase more than any of the later on trying to kick knowledge tip. Personally, I don't think Nas was ever strictly on the knowledge kicking phase. That was more so used as a talking point for Jay-Z. But I digress. I'm sure Boldy knows that it was written, came out in 96, but maybe 96 just worked better with his rhyme scheme. But for the younger listeners out there, you know, I had to set that straight. Other than that, very solid opener. Now, track 2, Marrero, has this off-kilter psychedelic rock riff that stands out as different from the other instrumentals. Craven has flirted with the style of production before. It's one that The Alchemist, DJ Muggs, and Derringer use often, but I think it works here and gives the track that kind of southwestern California drug cartel flavor. There is heavy plug talk on this track. You are getting a lot of authentic hustling words from Boldy with that icy delivery, and yeah, this one's definitely a vibe. Right after is Trapezoid, where we get a return to some of that lush chipmunk soul, and Boldy has the standout line here. If I was a shape, I'd be a trapezoid. And it might sound very simple, but it's hard and funny at the same time. He also said, "Rollie on my wrist, I never had a Joe rodeo." And honestly, I felt a little exposed with that line. So if you're old enough to remember during the mid to late 2000s, Joe Rodeo or Joe Rodeo was a popular yet still affordable watch if you wanted bling. Not too affordable though, because you at least had to have $1,000 to purchase one. And that was cool at the time, but if you were a big boss player with bread like Boldy likely was, then you would just have a rollie. Did anyone else ever own a Joe Rodeo, or was it just me? The subsequent song, Antonio Tuttle, is a solid record. The production here takes on more of a somber soul tone, but it's still dreamy, and it's just a cool beat where Boldy slides pretty effortlessly. This is followed up by Cordon Bleu, which has a brighter, jazzier flair with the trumpets. It's luxurious jazz rap. The guest verse from David Weston was pretty solid. Boldy had the witty line, "Spent 20,000 on these buffs, don't call me Four Eyes." All these choppers in the cot looking like a toy drive. So yeah, overall fun, flavorful track. But this is followed up by my favorite, the whole shebang. Now, Nicholas Craven was very much in his bag for this production. From the hypnotic, a female vocal sample to the syrupy sax. I mean, the sax itself kind of was given a Pete Rock feel. If not quite Pete Rock, perhaps the best Harry Fraud production we've gotten. But yeah, you were getting those motion picture-like bars from Boldy over this fantastic sample-based production, and he's reminding us that he was him before all the fame. It's really dope boy elegance at the end of the day. Track 7, Genie in a Bottle, has probably my second favorite instrumental. You were getting this angelic, soothing sample that fits Boldy like a glove, and Boldy's getting on his romantic tip slightly. Well, I mean, as romantic as Boldy could possibly get, since he's still out there making those moves. But you know, the instrumental has that syrupy hood lullaby feel, and Boldy says, "Too wrapped up in motion, this ain't no computer love, but if a genie in a bottle grants you 3 wishes." So yeah, I dug Genie in a Bottle. Track 8, Nice Try, Wrong Guy, was an earlier single, and this has a really tranquil guitar sample with elegant keys, a very chill soundscape, and Boldy even says the beat gives him codeine vibes. Here, Boldy does little reflecting, acknowledging that the last time he stepped foot in church was for a funeral service. But yeah, overall, you had more braggadocious drug bars over this kind of yacht rap type beat. The second to last song, Meal Prepping, is another highlight, and we do get a return to the glorious chipmunk soul chops that would make even Dipset proud. It's probably my third favorite beat here. Boldy has the lines, chopper ripping like the '03 Papoose. He's also talking about chefing up work like it's meal prepping. But yeah, you have more illustrious street talk from Boldy over this joyous beat. Then this thing closes out with at&t featuring C. Dell and Nick Bruno. So you have this dark, seductive beat in the form of menacing keys and these enchanting soul vocals. It's more unsettling than any of the other instrumentals, and Boldy has the best verse here. Very icy track where he talks about having more power in the streets than at&t. I dug the lines. It's Mr. Ice Cream Man, the biggest Frozone, soul stones across the street from the old folks home. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of a strong 4 mics. You might ask yourself, is it the best Boldy drop of the year, or is it the best of the Boldy and Craven series thus far? And that is a bit challenging to answer. If you take the Craven series specifically, it's actually hard to find many flaws in any of the 3 drops thus far. They're just so consistently good front to back. Now, Fair Exchange No Robbery was my favorite, and it likely left the biggest impression on most listeners, and still to this day, I think it had the most attractive soul chops. But this one is pretty much on par with the others, and it might even be better to you. I don't know yet. I'd have to spend a little more time with it. But if it's not better than those 2 preceding Craven drops, it could easily be one of Boldy's best of the year, at least in the number 1 to 3 spot. Let me know in the comment section, which producer do you feel Boldy has the most chemistry with? Is it Craven? Is it The Alchemist? Is it V Dawn? Is it Real Bad Man? Let me know below. My favorite tracks include Morero, Trapezoid, Cordon Bleu, The Whole Shebang, Genie in a Bottle, Meal Prepping, and at&t. But let me know your thoughts below. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Boldy James, Nicholas Craven, late to my own funeral.